What's up YouTube, this your boy Rashawn Baldwin White, RB Dubs, and I'm back at it again with another video. If you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. I make videos every week on discussing social justice issues and highlighting injustices being done to black people while also highlighting black people being successful in their respective industries. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're interested in discussing racism or race or anything of that nature, this is the channel for you, and I definitely invite you to subscribe. Now let's get into the topic of today's video. I wanted to talk about Atatiana Jefferson. Atatiana Jefferson was shot in her own apartment over the weekend in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, this definitely sounds familiar, and this sounds familiar because this case is similar to the case that we just got finished talking about not too long ago, and we're still lingering from the effects from, which is the Amber Guyger Botham Jean case. It takes place in the same place, Texas, but this is in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, Atatiana, 28 at the time, she had moved to Fort Worth to take care of her mother. Now, she was also taking care of her nephews as well, and the nephews, their mother was in the hospital, or yeah, it was in the hospital, I believe it's still in the hospital, and she was taking care of them for her. And what people have to say about Atatiana Jefferson is that, or what the mother had to say about Atatiana Jefferson is that she was a very, devoted person in terms of taking care of her nephews. And so devoted that people usually thought the nephews were her children and not, not her nephews. I just wanted to add that to show the type of person that she was. She was very smart, and she's very, a lot of people loved her. And going back to the topic of, so over the weekend, Atatiana Jefferson was in her home playing video games with her nephew, and it was very late at night, around 2:30 a.m. And, they're playing video games, it's late at night. They open the door to, get some air into the place. And they open all the doors, and a neighbor sees the open doors and becomes suspicious. So the neighbor calls the police so the police can do like a check-in, anonymous check-in to just to make sure everything is okay. They see the open doors, and from the inside, Atatiana and her nephew, they see the police officer walking around outside, and they believe it to be a prowler. Now, Atatiana Jefferson does have a gun, but she has a full license for this firearm, and she has all the rights to use it if she feels that she's being threatened. So the firearm really doesn't, it shouldn't have any effect on how, we perceive her, because it's fully licensed, and she should have the right to use it if need be, especially in this situation. The son wants to go check outside to see what's going on, what's happening, and Atatiana doesn't let him check. I mean, the nephew, sorry, I said the son, the nephew. She doesn't let her nephew check. She doesn't let the little boy check, but she instead goes to check herself. And she goes to the window to check, and meanwhile, the officer outside the window, he's yelling commands at her, and after he says "show me" for a second time is when he shoots into the window. Now he shoots into the window, and Atatiana Jefferson is pronounced dead minutes later. One of the saddest parts of this event is that she died right in front of her nephew. Her nephew saw her get shot, fall to the ground, and die, which is very sad. Like I said, it's similar to the Amber Guyger Botham Jean case. A woman being shot in her own apartment by a white officer. Now the white officer is named Aaron Dean, and he has been convicted of murder, and he is currently in jail, and his bond is sitting at $200,000. It's believed that the rush to charge Aaron Dean is to, ease the tension that has already been built up by the Amber Guyger Botham Jean case. Like I said, we're still in the waste of that. And like I said, it was in the same place as well. So there's a lot of tension and a lot of, hostility being built up there. So they want to ease, they felt like they were easing that tension. I mean the police and those who convicted him, they are easing that tension by charging him very quickly. Another thing to add about this event is that, you know, what would happen? What would have happened if the child had went to the window to check instead? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Atatiana Jefferson, that also goes to show how good of a person she is. She basically saved this little boy's life. Had that little boy went to the window and, you know, went out there to check for what they believe to be a prowler, we'd be probably talking about him being the victim in this case. He would have probably been the one that had gotten shot and would have died, which would have also been really sad. It's just crazy to hear that it's just one after the other terrible things happening, and just so fast at such a rapid pace. We have the Amber Guyger Botham Jean situation. We have Amber Guyger only getting 10 years for the murder of Botham Jean. Then we have a very key witness, Joshua Brown, who dies days after Amber Guyger is convicted. Now we have another person who is killed in their apartment by a white police officer in Texas. Literally this almost exact same case as Botham Jean. And my opinion, the fallout of this, I think it's literally going to be the same as Amber Guyger and Botham Jean. This guy, Aaron Dean, you know, he's been fired obviously, but I don't think he's going to do that much time in jail. And, you know, that $200,000 bond, I feel like that's going to be paid. And I feel like that's going to be the outcome of this. And I like to look at the cup half full. But based on what we've been seeing previously, I don't think that's going to be the case with this case. And I could see it going in the way of the police officers, as these types of cases most often do. And that's just my opinion on the whole thing. Like I said, this is a really sad event. It just goes to show how we have to keep pushing, and we have to keep getting our voices out there, and, you know, demanding that people pay attention to these injustices that are happening to Black people, and the sadness that it's bringing to the families of these Black people, the sadness that's being brought to the family of Atatiana Jefferson, knowing how she was killed and the way she was killed. And it's just really sad, and it was a really sad story. When I saw it and read about it, I almost didn't believe it was real because of how similar it was to the Botham Jean Amber Guyger case that just happened, that we've just been talking about not that long ago, which is what I talked about in my last two videos. So that was the biggest thing that got me about it, was how similar it was to that case, almost suspiciously similar. That's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Let me know what you guys think of the Atatiana Jefferson case. Let me know your feelings and thoughts about it. Like this video, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, not enjoyed, but like, we're happy to be informed about this content, and, you know, to know about this and to be able to have this information. And definitely subscribe to the channel if you, like to be on touch with more news like this. And definitely leave a comment down below about how you're feeling about this whole thing. And, I'll definitely be seeing you guys in the next video. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. That's @_RBDubs_. That's @_RBDUBZZ_. So go follow me on there. You can talk to me on there as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is your boy Rashawn Baldwin White, RB Dubs, and I'm out of here.